Okay, hey
Hello.
guys. So we're in a little bit of a time crunch, so we're trying to not have to edit this at all. So you might see a little bit of BTS. But we were talking about this yesterday actually. So we were looking at our channel, seeing like what the last video was we posted before this one.
Yeah.
And it was the Hidden Here reaction, and it said 11 months ago. And I thought, that's crazy that it's already been a year. And then, of course, to our confirmation, Tiffany posted on Instagram, and she said, just to get the exact quote, first off, oh my goodness, what do you mean? The Hidden Here album cover is great.
Oh, the picture. I know that picture.
This is the most
so good.
Incredible offensive photo I've ever seen in my life.
It's so good.
This is like deluxe edition album cover. I wish.
I
Oh, and you want to just real
seriously.
quick talk about something so scary? This guy, his name is OJ Will on Instagram. Otis Williams. He works at Elevation. Oh, so this is the drummer. Right? Yeah. There's
Yeah.
So he posted and said, ready for album number 2. She says, Otis, Wonderful Blood next. Is that the wonder of the working? You know that song? I know.
Mitchell,
I know that's what you were trying. I know.
As
Soon as I heard it, I was like, "That's the one Cooper was trying to explain." She said, "He said absolutely with an arm."
Oh, that would be crazy.
I commented.
Do you want to know
"This
what's
is a
so
scary
crazy?
comment."
Okay, so Jared came home and he's like, "Did you see Mitchell's comment on Tiffany's post?" And I was like, "No." And I went and looked. Then I realized all day I've been listening to Hidden Here, but I didn't know. I never saw this, and I didn't know anything about it.
Really?
It was so
Till
funny.
Jared said it?
Yes, so I was listening to that all day for just no reason. It popped into my head, and then he showed me that, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect."
As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Okay, I'll go listen to I'll Be Ready." I'm like, "Okay," but it's in a year. Are you kidding
that's
me?
crazy.
And I can gladly say, after a year, like after 1 year, I know every word.
Oh,
every ad-lib,
every rhyme,
every note.
everything.
I can play every single song on the piano perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know what you want me to say. So, my opinion, after a year, which is the reason we're kind of filming this, I know that the second that I listened to the album, my opinion was, in a ranking, I loved Break the Bottle.
Oh, I know.
And I loved Tears. And I loved Vow My Love. I know that those were like my top 3. Like as soon as I listened.
Really?
I also loved Obey. I know that.
I know what made me love Obey the most out of every song was the
New York session. The fact
And
that like,
made,
Tiffany,
as
if you
soon
ever
as
see this
that
video,
happened,
can this be the cover of the New York sessions, and it please go on streaming services? Listening to it on YouTube is so sad.
I know.
And I listen to Obey on YouTube more than I listen to the Spotify.
Obey is my top. It's the one I listen to the most. But Break the Bottle is at the top for me, and I'll Be Ready. It's probably Obey,
Is
Break
that
the
like
Bottle, and I'll Be Ready.
When you listened, or right now?
No, right now. That has become my favorites.
My right now favorite song on this album is a tie. I cannot choose. If you held a gun to my head and said pick between I'll Be Ready and Vow My Love, I could not give you an answer.
Yeah.
I could not tell you which one is better. And I listened to the two of them equally. And after those two, now if the New York session of Obey was on here, it's number 1.
Yeah.
But after those two, honestly, it goes to Togetherness after that for me.
Do you know what I was going to say? I was going to say Togetherness was probably my least favorite song when I listened to the album. No, it wasn't. Probably Hidden Here was.
And that's the fact
Together,
of listening to it beforehand.
Right.
It's the single effect.
Right, exactly. So, but Togetherness was probably at the bottom for me, and as I listened to the album, it really grew on me a lot.
Goodness,
like,
it's so
I
good.
really, the harmonies and stuff on that.
The whole
so
bridge.
Good. It's so good. After listening to that, that is probably like, if you could give an award for like most improved, like that would be like my
That's your most improved
song.
My most improved is Music to My Ears, which is shocking.
I loved that one.
I loved it when I heard it, but I loved all of them.
Yeah, I know.
And unfortunately, and not for any other reason than just like I'll Be Ready is. So maybe I am going to say that I like I'll Be Ready more than I like
Vow
My Love, because I'll Be Ready is in my top 5 songs of all time. Like with Rest and like Let the Heavens Open, like that's I'll Be Ready. And I think the only reason I say that is because of the A bride undefiled by idols, a bride that's been holy. That whole spontaneous part. That's like the mix of the studio to the live.
Yeah. That's the best.
The keep your oil burning still messing up every single time that I hear it. I just have to say, like,
can we respond today? I always. I
can say the whole thing. Do you want us to? Do we need to do it for proof? Like, let's be honest. But there's not a bad song. There's not one miss. That's the beauty of having 8 songs. Is like they're all superior.
And do you know what? When we were talking about last night, well, you won't see this video till after, but we were talking about in a video that's going to be posted how like an award-winning album is like cohesive. This album was so cohesive. Like just listening through the whole thing, it's just there's nothing that like throws you off.
Nothing.
Like, it's just perfectly like. But at the same time, there's some albums that are too much cohesive, and it's like not too much cohesive, too cohesive, and then it gets like a little boring. Like they're different enough, but they all fit in the same vibe so well.
For instance, since we're just like on the elevation topic, like to articulate that, in no shade way whatsoever, I feel like Hallelujah Here Below is an instance of too much cohesiveness. All the songs have a very similar sound.
Yes.
Offensive.
It's
the best album
but
ever.
I get what you're saying.
But then you have Grays Into Gardens, which is like a cohesive album.
But then
it's like Elevation's best album.
Then you have Lion, which is like completely all over the place.
Like the studio, the live, like Bye Bye Babylon and Lion. Are you joking that they're on the same Dancing, right? Like they're on the same album. Like Dancing could have fit onto this, honestly. You know, like I feel like it could have like been on this album, the same style. But then like Lion would never in a million years be placed on this track list.
But it's so good and like
it's perfect. It's perfect. There's nothing more that you can say. And like if I'm thinking back over a year of albums that have been released, like we've got Pure, which I love, and we have like even now When Wind Meets Fire. We got like so much new music, like the Josiah Queen album, like things that I love that are like Pure and The Prodigal are like of a similar message to this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like,
and I mean no shade to them, but this is the best album that's come out in the last year.
There's
no question.
No,
this is the best album that's come out in the last 5 years. And I don't even want to dare try to pit it up against The Blessing, but like since 2020 COVID, I don't have an album I like more than this album.
I agree.
That I will go back to for the next 10 years.
This isn't like a year, like, I will say there's some stuff a year later, I'm like, I'm over it. Like, not like I don't like it anymore, but it's just like...
You've had your moment with it.
But every time I listen to this, it hits me
Every time it hits me. And it's because the message of this whole album, like what she's trying to articulate...
You never get over that.
You don't get out of anyone else rarely, and you don't move past it. You just don't get over it. You do not get over I'll Be Ready. Like, or Vow My Love. How can you not every day listen to Vow My Love?
They're like something... Oh, good.
Like, what are the Worship Leader Hub stands that watch our channel doing if they're not listening to Vow My Love and I'll Be Ready and Obey every single day? Like, that's my question.
Oh, okay, what I was about to say, I had to tell Jared to start our dinner. What I was going to say is, the thing about this is, these are things that are just so relevant at every single point in your life. I feel like that's what makes it so, like, re-listenable. Is, like, there's sometimes when I'm, like, there's certain songs that just really hit for, like, a certain season. It's like I'm really, like, needing to believe for a miracle. Or, like, I'm really, like, you know, certain things like that. But this is just, like, always relevant.
Every one of them.
Right.
But you know what? The only song on here that is, like, changing with different seasons, like you're talking about, is Tears.
Oh, that's true.
But
Tears,
listen,
that is
but
true.
It's like, it's there for when you need it.
Yes, exactly.
And we were joking around about the fact that, like, we were like, oh, like, I'll need like, we said in our original reaction, we're like, Tears is not necessarily our favorite right now, but, like,
it will be one day.
When there's like a time for it, it'll be our favorite. And like I have already been through times where Tears is my favorite song of this album, and I'm like, oh, I feel horrible. Like, I'm so sad about this. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go put on Tears, and I sure do. Go for a play of that song.
That's true. That is so
Have
funny.
we talked about all of them? I mean, even Hidden Here is still, like, once again, Tiffany, if you ever see this, I'm so sorry that we weren't so hyped for Hidden Here in our real reaction, whole thing, because we had already had it. And we didn't listen to Obey. When the single released, we waited for the full album to come out, so we didn't listen to it. So we didn't have that effect with Obey, or probably we would have been, like, in the reaction, like, we'd already overplayed it.
Right.
But now I'm at the point where I'm not overplaying it anymore. I just listen to it all the time. Like, anytime when I open up Spotify, it puts on my main page, it says, like, hidden, it will put, like, I'll Be Ready. But then it'll put, like, Moonflower or something from Abby's album. And then it will, like, it'll give me, like, a spread of, like, the most amazing songs. Let's see, Spotify has been doing ads now, and I'm over that already. Forrest Frank is on there right now. Never get used to this. And The Prodigal's on there right now.
Yeah.
And then myself. That's so stupid.
That's so funny. That is so funny. No, a year later, it has stood the test of time.
It stood the test of time.
And I pray to God that what I heard somehow, I don't even know how, that she may never do this again, is a lie.
So we watched we watched the Tiffany Hudson podcast with Elevation Youth. Cooper has not watched the whole thing yet. We were thinking of reacting to it just because she said so many things in there that, like, pieced things together. That was, like, so cool. But one of the things she said in there was, like, she mentioned something, and I don't want to try to quote it and get it wrong, but she was talking with her sister and the guys who do the podcast, and was like, they were like, this is so cool, like, do you have plans for a second album? Or they had said something like that, and she was like, no, I don't. She's like, I was just happy to get to do this, and I was going like, no. like, no, I need to hear her say that. Like, Tiffany, if you ever need the validation from someone to record another album, oh my gosh.
But truly,
come
if
back
I were
to this
her,
video.
I'd be, like, scared to try to put something out after this, because I'd be like
the sophomore album syndrome.
What could be, yeah, exactly.
I can tell you anything that she would put out would be
No,
good.
I agree. That's
like,
not my thoughts, but if I were her, I'd probably feel
if you were her, you'd be like, oh, everyone really liked the message. It's like, what do I do now? Write the same thing. Like, just give us more songs along this topic. Exactly. What can we say?
Or, I mean, I would...
But since this album came out, she released Forever Yahweh with Bethel.
Yeah.
And then she did the All Hail King Jesus. I feel like she did something else too. Oh, the Monday Morning Faith. I don't know if that came out before or after. I think it was before.
Well, let us know
what the appears on.
What you think, if things have changed for you, if your songs have
let us know if things have shifted.
Order.
We know a lot of you guys listened to Tiffany's album. We were talking to Micah and Jaden about it last night, who are going to be in a new video that we're recording with. And we know, like, I just think that to, like, try and sum it all up, like, Tiffany wrote about something that a lot of people don't write about.
Yeah.
And it's, like, an album all about purity. And, like, she, in the podcast, is, like, sitting there crying. And she said, like, the whole thing is, like, she envisions, like, a bride on their wedding day walking down and saying, like, I vow myself to you.
For sure.
And that's the whole thing. You can so tell.
Do you remember when we were reacting to Cody Carnes' album and we're like, no one ever just makes, like, happy songs like this? Like, all his songs are just, like, uplifting.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel that way about this, not in the same, like,
the happy sense, which it is happy, but like...
But I feel like it's rare to find, like, a whole album full of, like, here's what I'm offering to you, not, like, what are you offering to me? Like, that's what this whole album is giving to me. That's what I feel like is so touching about it.
What a great way to try and sum it up. Like, perfect.
Which I feel like is really just the true essence of worship. Which there is a time and place for the other things, too, but I feel like that is just
one thing
the purest.
To offer my notes of what I'm upset about with the album a year later, I'm very, very, very disappointed that Tiffany has not done like what Abby did and did those Pure Nights and did like Hidden Here Nights or like on Elevation's tour. I don't know how she's not, like, obviously Elevation Rhythm's opening and I so get it, but I'm like, I wish that if she would just like, even like, at Elevation, she would just do like a one night, like an album release, like concert. She's so, like, sell my home to buy tickets to get wherever I have to get to be at that. Like if she's gonna sing I'll Be Ready live, I will be ready. to record that night. I will be there, ready with my phone, out to record. I won't even probably record it. I'll just be like...
She should do, like, hidden here nights in, like, hidden locations. You have to, like, find them.
Yeah, I would find it. I would literally sell all to go off to like find where that concert is. I need to see some of these songs live. But like even a live recording of some of them, like the New York sessions just proved to me how good it would have been live.
And the video, can we just talk about even just like the video, like the aesthetic of the videos were so cool. Like
they were so good. We haven't got to talk about those on video.
She looked so pretty in them. Like
they looked so good. And just randomly walking around New York. No, my favorite one, and I'm gonna play a little portion of it just to sit here and talk about it for a second. My favorite one is Obey.
Oh, yes.
But how are you going to seriously sit here and tell me she filmed this outside?
I know. And you could
if I have an ad,
hearing
the city behind her, the vocoder.
I
know. Guys. I have the worst Wi-Fi in the world right now for some reason. Like, the whole thing is just crazy. It's crazy to me.
I know. It was so good. It was so good.
Even this, though.
Did we react to this?
I wish. I feel like there's Johnson. I've never noticed that before.
Oh, yeah.
This video? What do you mean?
Make us the bride that you desire, pure and holy.
I know.
Make us the bride that you desire.
Can you do it too? This is the next one, right?
A bride undefiled by idols. A bride that's fully focused on you, Lord.
Is this the drummer from Elevation 2? Yeah, is that Josh Holiday? Of course all these people were here. Yeah, there's the piano player. She's standing right up front. It looks like Meredith from Upper Room. Can you imagine if it was? I'd feel so cool.
This is the best part.
This is the best part of the whole song.
Let it go out, for he is returning.
I can't believe, and now we don't know how production stuff works. I can't believe they did this whole thing to record just this one song. Like,
Yeah,
did
like,
she record a few songs that they didn't release?
That's what I'm wondering too, because I've had that same thought over and over. Or was it like maybe they recorded some other stuff? But no, because
listen, there is an obscene amount of money that I would pay to get 5 minutes to sit down and talk to Tiffany Hudson and ask her like 10 questions and say like, how many songs did you write for this album? Did you put them all on here?
Yeah.
How many times like did you record these and like not like that version and go back? Because I've done that multiple times. And she's on 3,000 times larger scale than me. So that makes me think like, did she record like, how did she get the pop hidden here? Was Hidden Here originally recorded like Found My Love, or were they all more the Elevation rhythm sounds? And then she was like, no, I want to change this and gravitate towards this like violin-y pretty sound.
Togetherness was supposed to be an Elevation worship song.
Right. So like, were some of these originally recorded as like a totally different sound, and like how would that shape?
Because there's no chance that she wrote Hidden Here just like that. Like, she probably sat down at her piano.
Oh goodness,
and
that was
wrote
written on a piano. So like, how does Hidden Here sound? Like,
can we get like a violin version? Like
that's what I want to know, if there is one. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, I would love to just ask those questions and be like,
yeah,
what was going on here? How did this happen?
Yeah, I know, that'd be so good.
It'd be so cool.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know. There's so much to know. This, like, what happened here? Like, they did not set all this up for one.
When he comes, I'll be ready.
Like, Vincent, what's his name? I don't know how to say his last name. Is sitting at his drums, and there is no drums being played through this. Like, they recorded something else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. So interesting. So many things we'll never know. Does that keeps you up at night?
I think about this album all the time.
Yeah. So good. Year later, still hits.
People have like covered I'll Be Ready on YouTube. That's crazy. I DM'd Tiffany on Instagram. I was judging at Fine Arts this year, And I knew that, I want to say Tiffany grew up with some association to like the assemblies and fine arts and stuff. I think so. 'Cause she went to SEU.
Right.
I don't know, but that doesn't necessarily mean
Right.
she did that. But I feel like I like heard someone say that or something. I don't know. But a group of girls in their vocal ensemble performance that the judges were judging were saying Vow My Love. And it was like, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, if I ever heard a song that I wrote, like someone singing that at Fine Arts, I would, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do. Like,
Yeah.
like someone heard that and like judge, like Nevaeh Nevaeh is singing Obey for nationals.
Oh, really?
And like, or I'm sorry.
Quiet.
Yeah. And I was like, see, that's another thing that makes me think like, because Quiet, obviously the strings version is so much better. Oh my, like the stripped version. But like, I think like what is hidden here stripped? Like, was that ever a thing? Is
Yes.
Obey stripped?